Black History Month. This is the last day of Black History Month 2022, and I'm driving on my way to Mobile, home of Mardi Gras. So this is the Monday before the fattest of Tuesdays, and I'm heading over, not for Fat Tuesday stuff, but to handle a leak, terrible leak in the house. So hey, word to the wise, check your water heaters. If you haven't checked it in the last 10-15 years, please check it, and please consider swapping it out. Maybe even getting a waterless tank, if that helps. It would have helped us. So I'm on my way, and I'm trying to make the best use of my time. One of the ways that I make the best use of my time is the Audible app. I love the Audible app. Love, love, love it. Because it's the only way I get books in. And is it terrible? I know, but it is. It's the only way I get books in, because when I'm still or at home, I'm doing something else, and I frequently, I'll very infrequently have time to hold a book. So next, I'm going through trying to read this book for our book club. We've chosen Will Smith's new book, and I've heard amazing things about it. And so I told the book club, and they kind of did their own research, and everyone decided, sure, we'll start with this one. And it is delivering. Can I tell you how amazing this book is? It's amazing read. I mean, most of the people who told me about it actually read the pages. I'm actually listening to Will tell me his stories. Crazy. I mean, it's just crazy. So there's one part that I wanted you all to tell. Well, all of it's good. All of it is good. But there's this point in the book that I think is particularly relevant to celebrate Black History Month and end on a high note. And it's this moment of the transfer of power. And when it happens in Will's life, and that feeling. And I hope that all of us have had a feeling like this before, because if you haven't, keep living and keep going for it, because there is nothing like it. But there's this moment after he has a chapter called Alchemy. You have to read Alchemy. Alchemy is amazing, and it will transform you alone. The next chapter is called Adaptation. So it basically is the story of he's gone to a party at Quincy Jones's house. The party turns into an audition. The audition turns into the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And he then becomes more actively involved in, choosing cast members and things of that nature. It's growing over the time. So it wasn't at the beginning. He goes through a couple of scenes or whatever. A couple of episodes have happened. He's feeling really good about it. He's like, I really want to push forward. And he's trying to convince a couple of his homies from back home to come and join him. People who've been with him, ride or dies. And they're really reluctant to do so. So he finally convinces him to come. And at one point, he decides when he's looking at the script that this isn't his voice. He's trying to be authentic, and what he's reading is just a script, some script stuff. So he changes it. Well, the executives don't take nicely to it. They decide to call him in for a meeting. He goes into this meeting with his boy, and the executive's trying to get all, who do you think you are? What? Just because you think you've, got a little something going on, you think you're going to tell me what to do? I know what this is. I know how to run things. I'm saying it wrong. You have to listen to the song, to the book. But they're at a moment where it's time for Will to decide: is he going to take this sitting down, or is he going to handle it differently? Not saying that he handled it right, because I think looking back on it, he thinks, and I do believe, that it wasn't really quite right, but it kind of got the point across. But it's not about that. It's about the moment where he starts to feel this power. And I'm going to try to play it here in my Audible, see if you can hear it through the car speakers. I think I said it just right, so you can listen.
Sneered. JL jumps up, now fully brandishing the snow globe. But hold on, guys. Hold on, Benny Medina implores. Back up, Jeff, JL says. Since Jeff came with us, he's confused about JL's tone and energy toward him, especially as all he did was stand up. But JL has a 5-pound snow globe in his hand, so Jeff does as he's told and quickly backs up. Who the fuck is you talking to? I woofed at the executive. In retrospect, I did notice that the man's eyes were totally surrendered and that he had no idea what was happening. He clearly had never been called a bitch in his life and wanted no beef whatsoever. Who the fuck is you squaring off on? I was fully in it now. I could tell he wanted to respond, but he was still stuck trying to unravel the urban koan, what the fuck you want to do, bitch? Will, clearly we've gotten off on the wrong foot here, he said sweetly, his left hand now holding his lower back. You damn right. You standing up screaming on motherfucker, sit down when you talk to me. But Will, he said more evenly, I just had major back surgery and the doctor told me that I should stand up when you're gonna sit the fuck down when you talk to me, I growled.
Okay.
But
we're gonna pause it there for a second. It's a lot. But he kind of goes into this back and forth with this executive, bringing, what he knows in terms of how he handles his business and, how folks handle business back home into this executive's office. The executive wasn't anticipating that at all, clearly. So at the end of it, everything calms down. No one gets hurt. He leaves. He kind of has a minute to think about it and kind of process, well, maybe he went a little too far. Maybe they're not back in Philly, on the streets where he was, dealing with a different group of people. So maybe he needs to think through things a little bit differently. Well, the very next thought he has is, oh my God, Quincy Jones. He knew that they were going to have called Quincy at this point because he went off on the executive, and Quincy's the one who's responsible for getting all this together for him. So he calls up Quincy Jones, and the assistant's like, oh, he's in a meeting, he's not available. So Will's like, oh my God, I need to talk to him. So he's like, well, can you please have him call me right back? So when he gets the call back, he was trying to, of course, beat the executives to tell his side of the story. And he didn't. So Quincy had already heard what had happened. And so when Will gets on the phone with him, he has a couple of comments for him. Let me see if I can get it right where it needs to be. So found it. Here you go.
Quincy. I immediately rushed to try to call Q first. Quincy's on a call right now, Will. Can I have him return? Fuck no. Tell him to hang up with NBC and hear my side of the story first. Sure, that'll be great. Thanks, I said. After the worst 30 minutes of my life, he hit me back. I think I fucked up, I blurted out. It's fine. People cuss each other out all the time, Quincy said. Just never put your hands on nobody. I talked to him, it's good. What happened on set? I changed some lines in the script because they were trying to have me say some whack shit. They trying to tell me what a dude from Philly would say. And I'm like, that line's not real. Oh. So it was a creative disagreement, Quincy said. I guess that's what they call it in LA, I said. You have a script right there? Quincy asked. Yeah, I got one right here. Okay. What does it say on the cover? I said, confused. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Right. And who's the Fresh Prince? Quincy barked. Me, I said. Exactly. Don't nobody know what the fuck you supposed to say better than you. If they could do what you do, they wouldn't have hired you. You say what you want to say, the way you want to say it. And when somebody has a problem with it, tell them to call me. I was barely 22 years old, and Quincy Jones had just empowered me to say whatever I wanted to say on a network television show. He took my side over producers, writers, executives, advertisers, everybody. He bet on me. Yes, sir, I said.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, honoring Quincy Jones for that empowerment moment for all of us. And with that, I wish everyone a happy Black History Month finale. Have a great day and God bless. And thanks, Will. Thanks, Quincy Jones. Thanks, all the teams who worked it. And thanks, Audible.